Fight!
So yeah, Matt's gonna be playing Black Green Delirium.
Yep.
And
The only difference is a little more discard. I'm trying to instead of Mindbender in the main as well.
okay.
And
you're not running the Mindwrack Demon version.
No.
Yep.
I like Kalidas more.
Yeah, I do too, especially with no Reflector Mage.
And then I've also had the two Yohani's expertise in the main.
Okay.
You know, with the Tireless Trackers, the Lilianas, the Grim Players, there should be enough.
I don't know how many creature decks you're gonna face though, is the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like combo is pretty much where it's at right now.
I still think he'll face, some try to aggressive decks.
Yeah, I mean maybe. I like Kalidas and the way it seems to be positioned at the moment. We need to get some of those big black and white dice. They're on Amazon for pretty cheap from what I can tell. Who won the die roll?
Evan did.
Well, that's good for Evan because he's got a lot of 3-mana counter spells.
That is true.
Which means he can counter the Lilianas.
Very sketchy. I will keep.
So yeah, I mean, one of the lines Matt can basically take in this game is just turn 3 Lily under a counter spell and just tick up, and eventually ultimate. Evan is running Shock, we saw.
He's giving away all my secrets.
Harness Lightning obviously isn't going to stop Liliana.
Good against Grim Flare, though. And
Yep.
Tracker.
Yep.
Good.
So Evan being on the play will definitely help protect him a little bit.
That's true. Mine was excellent. That's true.
So Evan has a decision now.
That seemed pretty easy.
So I'm thinking about control, it's always tough.
Thinking about things.
And so Evan,
That's why you put the threat on turn 2.
yep, Evan felt he had to kill it.
The threat on turn 2, so they tap out, and you play the big threat on turn 3.
I believe you're at it. Oh no, yeah, you're right. So Evan using his last energy there.
And I'll read her there. Okay.
That does work. It's not a bad way to keep her down.
Bruce Beth.
Ooh.
Get wrecked.
Card you might see come back.
Check out Lily.
I think you're supposed to stick down on an empty board, yeah.
He's got shock.
But you're guaranteed the card out of Grimflare. It's up to you, obviously, but I don't know your hand.
I still want to go plus.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That was a big land drop.
That was a pretty big land drop, yeah. A lot of these control decks really need to hit their 4th land right on time.
Okay.
And it's because of Glimmer of Genius. They don't really have any cheaper draw spells. And we might see some people play around with Improvise. And there is a potentially a 2-mana draw 3 if you can improvise for 3. But I haven't really seen
You
any.
have to play quite a few low effect. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, late in the game, it's probably 2-mana, right? So Evan refills. Matt's got, I think, 5 cards in the game.
I have 5 cards.
Yeah.
On 7. Yep.
So we're 2 turns away from ulting.
The old 6 land pass.
We'll probably see this a lot from control players. The problem is like, you know, they could drop Torrential Gearhulk. It might not even be good. They might just counter whatever you want to play. It's going to be tough. Especially if they have a counterspell in their graveyard. Interesting decisions. Yep. Don't you net an energy?
Oh yeah, I gave it. I did. Last turn I spent one of the.
Right. Okay.
For 10 regular flanks.
They've been brought as foils. Really interesting decision point. Matt is valuing the ultimate pretty highly. Really? Okay. Evan thinks he can beat it. Surprises me. Oh. Yeah, I forgot I had that mode.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So Evan played Disallow, and for those new, it counters target spell or ability. It doesn't just say activated ability, right?
Counter target activated ability or
Okay.
triggered ability.
Okay, so activated ability and triggered ability. So Planeswalker abilities are activated abilities because they have
Yep.
colons on them. So we can counter it.
How about no, Scott?
Wow, that was pretty good.
With 3.
Planeswalker creature sorcery. It's not unheard of.
Just checking.
So yeah, Disallow gives you some game against Lily. Didn't think about that. I like that. What's interesting here too is with Evan's deck, if he were to go like Saheeli into Felidar Guardian and Matt were able to stop it, he still gets the Felidar Guardian trigger, and he can target his Torrential Gearhulk if he wanted to, if Matt mistimes it.
Clear now? Yep. Cards in hand? 3. It's so nice that there's no Emrakul.
Yeah, no, it really is. So Control, I think, is definitely going to pick up. Emrakul was kind of keeping it down. Just all the Eldrazi cash triggers, there weren't really good answers to it. Now with Disallow and whatever the old 4... What was the old 4 cost? What was the old 4 cost one? We can't remember the name off the top of our heads, but the current 4-mana counterspell that everyone's using for Eldrazi.
What does that guy do again? Takes a plus.
Is when you cast this in one mana, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose from it an offline card with converted mana cost 3 or less, and a card with converted mana cost 4 or greater. That player discards those cards.
That is really
interesting with disallow is you could, if Eben wanted to, counter just the activated ability of Distended Mindbender, but then still let it resolve.
The triggered ability, isn't it?
Didn't you say disallow says triggered ability?
Yeah, but you said activated.
Oh, sure, yeah. So I think this is gonna be pretty good. Let's see what happens here. It has Dispel.
Yep, you got it.
And Matt does not have the second grasp.
Kaboom.
So Eben combos off for the second time tonight. Pretty sick.
Deck seems awful good.
Yeah, Eben was saying Brad Nelson wrote up an article on this list.
It was pretty close. Yeah.
Pretty close to the list. When Brad picks up a deck, I usually, I don't know, it's pretty interesting. And for Brad to play, like, point out a control deck, it seems pretty good.
I think there's definitely going to be some list of Saheeli Combo
Oh,
Pro
absolutely.
Touring.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be a control variant. It won't be in an aggro deck or anything like that.
It's just so interesting to see a blue-white control deck not run a Spell Queller. Like, I didn't honestly think I would see that until that card rotated out. It's just so good.
The thing about Spellcaller is I don't particularly like it when people are running removal decks because game one, like, they're just going to be able to remove Queller. Like, if you're bringing it out of the board when all of their removal comes out, like game one, they don't see Queller at all. They think you don't have Queller. Like, I could see bringing it in and getting some tempo that way.
Oh, sure.
But he's definitely better in a tempo deck. Like, you kind of want to counter their big thing, hit him for a bunch of life total, and then, you know...
Use the time that you buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I drew this conclusion. I didn't think there would be Splinter Twin back in Standard either.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a prediction.
I mean-
I'll say.
Right.
And that's the thing is, like, it's very possible that your turn 5 could be something like Saheeli or Felidar Cub, or what is it, Felidar Guardian?
Yeah.
And then turn 6, you just like Saheeli with Queller backup. But I think, given the current answers to the Planeswalkers being only instant, Dispel just seems like a nice
Only
answer.
sorcery.
Yeah.
Well, spell's good.
Because if you just wait till 7 or 8 mana, you know, they have to answer it at instant speed.
And sideboard, I sided to a lot more, hand disruption.
I'm just gonna go straight combo. I think is probably the best way.
I like that, mostly because Matt's deck's going to be very good at grinding with between Liliana, Grapple with the Past. I did not see the disallow coming game one. I think Matt had put his game plan around alting Lily, and
Yeah.
I might have been a pressure on that game plan, but
No, that's generally how, because they can't beat it when it happens.
yeah.
Well, this deck can because it's still
Well,
combo.
you still combo, but that way I don't have to invest any mana in putting out a threat. The threat's just combo, average turn.
Yeah, it is quite interesting. I think Evan's deck is pretty good at beating a Lily ult. It's not going to come until turn 5, 6, 7. And then, Evan could just like untap and combo if he has it. The thing about the combo is that it is, unless you're trying to go 4 colors, you are pretty much locked into Jeskai. Which
I
means
thought about going 4 colors. Like, black gives you a lot of good removal.
yeah, black gives you removal, gives you hand disruption, so that you can
The
combo.
problem is grasp is probably the best removal, and it's double black, so that's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, boy. Wow. Okay. We'll try.
Good. Go get a swamp on your instant.
Something viewers to think about is a lot of times game one I'll hold my evolving wilds on my opponent's end step, but after game one they know what I'm playing, so it's not as important to kind of hide my lands. And especially in a match like this, time can be a factor.
Yep, that's true.
That was very awkward.
So clearly Evan drew the Wandering Fumarole on 2. Matt probably knows it, otherwise he would have played it on 1. So now game 2 is interesting because Matt's bringing in probably some hand disruption, which means the turn he wants to Ultimate Lily, he can potentially save his disruption for. Saheeli, as we saw last game, kind of keeps Lily at bay, which is good. And now Matt has to respect land combo as a potential. And this is what's great about the combo in the control deck is that if Matt, just kind of sits and plays defense, Evan gets to promote his game plan, which is basically just to hit land drops. To the slaughter is a pretty good answer to the combo. Can get both pieces. So Matt's probably a little sad to see that one go.
That would be accurate.
How much does that get us?
8.
With the bird.
7. 2 luck.
What card is it?
Just in the
Oh, okay, sure. Jeez, what is I don't even know what Saheeli's ult is.
Search your library for 3 artifact cards that we don't have. Put them into the battlefield and check your library. So get a gear hole.
Okay.
I think
Get 3 gear holds? Did it say up to 3? 3 different?
Different names.
Okay.
you get a, let's go up to 2.
Yeah. It's an expensive tuner.
And I do have to.
Today, I haven't used it. She yet, right?
Nope. Oh, towards Lily.
Yeah.
This combo looks pretty fun. Seems like a fun deck for sure.
Speaking as a former Grixis player, yes.
Yeah.
Lording their potential death over them constantly is a blast.
Man. I think I should have brought a Gideon deck.
Yeah, Gideon does pretty good.
Gideon seems...
I was messing around with green white tokens. I just didn't enter the middle first night.
Yeah. I'll have to do something next week. Evan's digging. Land go is. I'm not sure who it truly favors. I would imagine Evan. There's some disruption.
You agree?
Yep.
Cards in here.
5.
Only brainstorm is in the form. Evan disallowing it. Protecting his hand. Ooh, follow up. Transgress. Alright, and Evan says shields are down. What do you want? Looks like a Goblin Dark Dwellers, Guardian, which is probably what Matt's going to have to take.
Ordinance, Dark Dwellers, participants.
Now, one plus side for Matt is that the Goblin Dark Dwellers doesn't really have a good target right now.
Good.
Oh, now he will. Interesting decision point here. Saheeli scries to the bottom. And we're going out with the Dark Dwellers.
Yes, I counter.
Re-anticipate.
I don't think either of their life totals have
Haven't
changed
changed, yeah.
at all yet
They probably
in
won't.
either game.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because Matt has to leave in Grasp to deal with Feldar Guardian. So he can get those draws that just aren't very aggro or aggressive. Ooh, Lost Legacy. It's a pretty good sideboard card for trying to stop a combo. Alright. So Matt hits. Pretty sure Evan would have won next turn if he didn't cast this.
And my choice was 2 land or the Guardian.
Oh, it's definitely the Guardian.
Anticipate. Well, if I hit the other land, then I had the negate for that. So I couldn't leave on
Oh,
negate
sure.
and
Sure.
take the Guardian.
You don't need the Guardian to win, though. Like, just all your Saheeli, go get a Torrential Gearhole.
Yeah, I'm on the beatdown plan.
Yeah.
Let's build the Dark Dwellers.
Alright. So, what Evan was pointing out is he could have taken a land and held up negate. This is one of those things where, like, he didn't have to take the Guardian. As Matt said while we were playing, that, the combo's kind of secondary game plan.
Yeah, you guys give me Torrential Gearhole.
So, Evan probably was a little greedy from the strategy of what his deck's doing, but I think it
It
was.
would be nice to draw a thread at some point.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, bunch of lurkers today.
Good.
Okay.
Grasp.
Interesting. So we dispel the grasp. He's gonna grasp again. Now Matt knows about both, so I don't know what his cards in hand are, but
You know what it is.
So Matt's really wanting to resolve this.
Something. I'm wanting to
Yeah.
resolve something.
So Matt basically doing this on Evan's upkeep, so that Evan has to use his mana on his turn, which means Matt is more likely to resolve something on his turn.
Yeah, before he sees his first card of the turn. And also just stuffs a bunch of, he came Glimmer of Genius, then Ultimate Saheeli to Torrential Mirror up to Glimmer of Genius. So cuts out a lot of his really good turns by Ultimate Saheeli. She has no further use for it. How did I gotten rid of the guardians?
I mean, minusing and copying Gearhulks has won him a few games against me. So
True, but if he's at that point, I'm probably losing already.
yeah.
This is
So-
the game.
so Matt's at 20.
Because literally, if I had just drawn Emrakul any one of the last 5 turns, I probably win this game.
What's that? Oh, you scried, I see.
Okay.
Matt goes to
Damage has been
19.
done.
Oh,
There we go. First blood.
wow.
Blood.
Only took like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Lives didn't change in the first game either, so.
Does she not give the thing haste when her in her ultimate?
Nope.
Oh, wow. Okay.
On the battlefield.
Interesting.
Are they exiled?
No, just discard it. You'll get that number.
Is that Glimmer? Oh, so Evan's just like,
Go
sure,
ahead.
I'm just going to copy a Gearhulk anyway.
Yep.
Maybe. We'll see. My Mentor's a 5/5, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So my Mentor does not block here very well.
Well, he doesn't block anything. Let's see. 5, 9. I'll give him 10. Good. Good enough.
Evan is representing lethal next turn in a number of ways.
Go ahead.
So, yep.
You lose.
You also didn't even need a card. Just
No, the funeral does it.
Funeral and Saheeli minus.
Was that not the third one?
That was only 2.
Yeah, let's put it.
Yeah, you should.
My third one?
Yeah.
This
go
does
in
not feel good.
No, it really doesn't.
I mean, I think I had a subpar draw just with like no creature fetch. It was all one action.
Yeah.
But one thing I think we learned is Saheeli. Saheeli on the
Yep.
board with Liliana. So good.
Yeah, it really is.
Because even if like you play your Liliana, you plus it to 4, she comes in, she pings it to 3. Now, if you -2 to try to get some value, suddenly she kills it the next turn.
Right. Yeah. Saheeli's pretty good against
I'm
Liliana.
gonna keep them for a hero's downfall.
Yeah.
And we do playing 4 colors for sure.
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to make a deck they banned in Modern, Legal, and Standard. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I really think so next week we should have a Gideon deck. I think that'll put a lot of pressure on Eben.
Yeah, I mean, pressure's the thing.
And then, like, I think I might try to brew, like, a red aggro deck. Shock is extremely good against the combo. Eben has to have a piece of permission the turn he plays the combo piece, which means he's going off turn 4. If turn 3 he's playing Saheeli, he's not killing anything. The combo is going to be a lot worse, but the rest of the deck might be good enough, and that's the
Maybe.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, when you got
the deck was the finals of last.
the Gear Hulk beatdown backup plan,
Yeah,
seems to be pretty consistent.
He can
so.
just board out the combo, bring in shocks, potentially Galvanic Blast, depending on how deep he wants to go, and just kill everything.
Yeah.
The combo is a scary, scary thing. You're probably leaving a couple of pieces of the combo. The Feldar Guardian is, something you could do on turn 4, blink one of your own lands, and have shock back up, and now you have like a 1/4 wall, and then you leave in like maybe one Saheeli, just a combo off with if you need to.
I mean, the traditional and modern with Twin was always, if you got someone who's going to board up, and you can mention the combo game too, you still leave in at least one copy of each.
Yeah.
Shave down.
Yeah, you just shave down because then you still have the random I win, but you're not playing towards that game plan. It just kind of happens.
Yep.
And it's just because sometimes turn 4 with that. It's a beautiful thing. I still think the flash variant of this might be superior to the control variant. With Spell Queller, Avacyn. Gonna have to maul this one, even though I've got all of my hate cards. One stumble on lands, and he's gonna have permission.
I'll keep.
You also just don't have any aggression.
Yeah. His Grim Flare, at least it makes him react when you can go play something into.
So the aggro version of this deck could also potentially beat control with Gnarlwood Dryad. It was running Smuggler's Copter, so you'd have to replace that, but I think Heart of Kirin or whatever it is potentially good enough.
Yeah. I think you have to go roll to the ground. I don't think you do the 5 drops like the Gear Hulks.
Yeah.
Where it was just going to try a mid-range aggro deck. I think you have to go all out.
I can tell you that everyone is going to be playing the control deck, though, at all the PPTQs until they determine it's bad in your first few weeks. That's what I would expect.
Keep track because I will scry. So, good. Yep. Faster.
I've been showing that he has all his colors.
Faster.
Matt missing his land drops.
Yep.
Oh noes.
Usually bad news.
Well, let's do Drusen. Sure. Faster.
Yep, Evan missed his land now too. Gives Matt a chance to catch back up. Does his land.
Faster.
Again, no one's gonna get hit for a while. 27? 28?
Huh?
How many lands? 26?
26.
26 lands in Evan's deck. He does have Anticipates to help him.
Should have let the transgress resolve and see if the negate.
What'd you think he was going to take?
Well, at the time, I only had 2 threats. He was going to take
Yeah.
1, but I've since drawn.
Yeah. So again, we have this Planeswalker battle.
Lily should not be losing. She's evil.
Matt knows what's on top of Evan's deck now. It's clearly a land left on top. Ooh. It's going to make him shuffle. It's pretty good. Evan will get to draw 2 cards. But yeah, that land's no longer there. But Evan will get 3 looks at a land. I would hope he hits a land.
Okay. Worded 1 out, so this didn't happen, and then still got 2 in hand.
Yeah.
Did I play a land?
What's interesting is that in the aggro matchup, Feldar Guardian is actually a really big wall, right? But in the control matchups like this, Saheeli's actually decent because she just scries you to everything you want. So it's kind of cool that you get to like kind of board out 1/2. Did you draw 2 cards off the Feldar Guardian?
Oh, you draw?
Yeah.
Yeah, for all the ones he takes out of your hand, you draw.
Oh, Jesus. That's terrible.
I mean, it's good for you.
Okay, I didn't know that. No, I thought you just got him.
No.
You got me.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
You started.
Yeah.
I think Cabal Therapy is not in this format.
That would be pretty sweet.
To discard. Or wait, I have a plan.
A ton going on.
Building to these 3 Gear Hulks. Sitting here, chilling. Spell loses a lot of its usefulness.
I didn't see what it was.
He said dispel.
Oh, dispel. I thought you said that spell.
You to really care. Achievement alert. Made it to 6 minutes.
Good for you.
Just discard. Drawn too many cards.
Murder.
First Gear Hulk down. Matt has answered. If Matt can answer all these Gear Hulks, Evan's only win condition will be Wandering.
Goblin Dark Dwellers.
yeah. Both of which are not particularly scary to Matt.
We're about done here. Okay.
Why is the Gearhulk exiled?
That's a good question. Everything else was filled home.
Evan plays Miracles in Legacy. You can tell the way he flourishes his card.
Which tells you what kind of lack of soul he has.
He grabs the top of his deck. He's checking for a Miracle.
Okay.
Alright, so we're traversing with Delirium. See what Evan wants to do. Goes with Negate.
Okay.
Alright, so second traverse will resolve. What will we get?
I need to put some sort of artifact in my sideboard for Saheeli Ultimates.
Oh, sure.
Is there anything?
Cameo's journal? I don't know.
Everything's just like
Man, yeah.
Eldrazi. They're all colorless, but they're not artifacts.
I can't really think of anything great. I guess Metalwork Colossus is pretty huge.
Deckable tower.
But then it's in your hand. Yeah, that seems okay. What did you get off Traverse, Matt?
Just an inventor.
Okay. Yeah, it just goes to 1, right? Now dies.
Well, no, she was a 4.
Yeah, now she'll die, right?
3, yeah, right. She was 1.
Ish.
Good.
Yeah, the number of viable counterspells in the format definitely has increased Torrential Gearhulk's value, I feel like. The fact that Disallow can essentially counter Planeswalker ultimates means that if they slip under your counter, at least you have an answer later in the game and it's not just rotting in your hand. Which is very interesting. Interestingly, he's at 15. Oh, yeah, it was just a second. Dwellers has been kind of meh
Oh, baby, a triple!
in that
Oh,
game.
yeah.
So he's got 15 on board, and he can minus Saheeli and make it 20.
No, the other one was already dead.
No, you make a copy.
Oh, yeah.
With Saheeli.
And I had a few.
Yeah.
An embarrassment of riches.
Yep. Yep. So we kind of saw, Control beat a Poopy Combo deck, which I don't know, kind of expect. Control beating mid range is pretty normal too. We didn't really have an aggro deck to try to feed.